Okay, welcome to our video on Excel. This is presented by Tochukwu Excel. So today we're going to be looking at Excel from the very foundation of it. So once you launch an Excel workbook, it will open one Excel sheet and you will have an interface like this. So first of all, let's start with what Excel is. Excel is the spreadsheet application from Microsoft Office. It is part of Microsoft Office suite. It is one of the most widely used spreadsheets and data analytical tool in the world. Excel can be used for any work or project involving data. It can also be used to create and manage reports, data analysis and visualization, information management, data organization and restructuring, among other features. So we're going to look at the interface of Excel, what I call the anatomy of Excel. So once you open an Excel worksheet, you have this interface. So we're going to deal with the different um, tabs in Excel. So if you look here, you have different tabs. You have the insert, you have the home, you have the draw, you have page layout and all that. And each of these tabs have different ribbons. And under the ribbons, you have different group of related tools or functions that will help you in your work with Excel. Right. So, but let's look at the anatomy of Excel. Excel is based or denominated in cells. One of my mentors will tell you that if it is not in a cell, it is not Excel. So what is a cell? What is a cell? Cell is the smallest functional unit in Excel. It is this rectangular shape that you see millions of it in a spreadsheet, right? So it is also the intercept between a column and a row. It's also the intercept between a column and a row. This cell has what is called a cell number. So if you look on top of the column, you see the name box right before the formula bar or the function box as the name be. So the name bar is where the name of the cell is written. This also can be called a unique address and is also used for reference purposes, right? So this default name of the cell can be changed, right? You can also change the default name of the cell. For the cell, you have the cell content, right, and the cell container. So if you click on a cell once, this is the cell content. So I have, let's say, let me type boy inside the cell. So I'm entering. So now I clicked on this cell. This is on the cell, which is on the cell container. So moving it, I can move it. So if I want to type anything on this cell, once I'm there and I type again, it will delete the original content of that cell because I clicked on the cell, right? So let's reverse back what I did. So now to click in the cell is you double click two times. So if you click in the cell, you double click twice. So you are now inside the cell. So if you are typing, it's not removing, it's adding to what you have typed, and the content will remain because you are in the cell. And once you click in the cell, some of the formatting functions that only apply to the cell container will be disabled. So look at this function is discovered as disabled. So let me click on the cell. You see they are showing your color filler. You feel color will show, your border will show, but once you are in the cell, it will not show. Another important use of in and on the cell is when you are copying. So if I do Control C on the cell and I want to paste it in cell E5 and I press anything before pasting, you discover that this copy I copied will no longer function. So I do Control V, it's not doing, do Control V, it's not doing. But if you copy the content that's in the cell, even if you press another thing, it will show. So how do you copy in the cell? Remember what I said, that the first thing is If you want to be on the cell, you click once. If you want to be in the cell, you click 2 times. So I click here, highlight, and I do Control C. Even if I like, I come here, I type again, and my copy is still with me. So no matter what I do, my copy Control V is still with me. So that's one of the difference between in and on the cell, right? So let's go back to the cell, the anatomy of Excel. So you have cells, they have the cell name, which is seen on the name box, right? So group of cells is called a range. Group of cells is called a range, right? So and the range is referenced by the topmost left and the bottom right. So in this particular case, let me put a border around it, about around this selection, so that to okay. So here you have the topmost is C3, topmost is C3, and the lower right is E11. So this cell is denominated by C3 to E11, right? So cell to range, and then range to sheet. So this sheet, it's one page of Excel. So Excel is arranged in sheets. It's like a sheet of paper where you can only see one particular sheet, one particular plain sheet. So but you can have many sheets. You can have many sheets to form an Excel workbook. The same way you have many sheets to form a, an exercise book. So you have many sheets to form an Excel workbook. So if you click on the plus on the base of your sheet, you keep adding the sheets. You can also rename the sheet by right clicking and going to rename, or you double click on the name and rename it to anything. Let's say work for today, work. So work, you rename it and put any name that you want, so that for ease of referencing. So if you also want to check all the sheets in a particular workbook, what you do is you go to the arrow for separation direction below the sheet, and right click on it. It will give you all the sheets, and then look at it: sheet 1 work, sheet 3, sheet 4, and so on. So this is what Excel anatomy looks like. Thank you very much. This is Tochukwu Excel. Please, if you like our video, please like, comment, and share. Thank you.